For a lot of us here in West Michigan, the word tropical probably sounds pretty appealing right now.
If you're looking for some tropical relief from what seems like an endless winter, look no further than Meijer Gardens. They're getting ready to open up their Butterflies Are Blooming exhibit tomorrow. This morning, Storm Teammates Matt Kirkwood is getting a break from the cold. He's live inside the Tropical Conservatory with what the exhibit is all about. Hi, Matt.
I tell you, there are probably a lot of weather-weary people out there tired of the winter. It has been a brutal winter, and a lot of us are probably thinking spring. You know, spring officially begins March 20th, but you can beat it. You can come out to the Frederik Meijer Gardens Sculpture Park right now. We're in the Tropical Conservatory, and it's 85 degrees, or soon to be 85 degrees. A little bit of a fluctuation. I was talking with Steve Lawarre, who's the director of horticulture here at the gardens, and we have a special thing kicking off. This is the 19th year of what, Steve?
Yeah, and you're right. It feels great in here. I'm going to have to get rid of this fleece pretty soon because you walk in from outside and it's just wonderful in here.
So how many different types of butterflies are we going to get to see this year?
So over the course of this exhibition, which runs March and April, we'll have over 7,000 butterflies that'll fly in this conservatory, and that will represent about 40 different species of butterflies, all tropical from South and Central America, Asia, Africa, so just a great diversity of butterflies.
I love taking my family here. I've been doing it for many, many years. The kids always look forward to it, including Dad and Mom. What's some of the special events that are occurring this year?
Well, we've got something that we're doing with the Grand Rapids Junior Ballet, and that's going to be happening on, let's see here, that'll happen on March 8th and 12th. Those are Saturdays at 10 and noon. We're also open on Tuesday nights until 9 o'clock, and we've got children's activities that go on. So lots of stuff to do besides seeing the butterflies in here. There's caterpillars in the seasonal display house, so lots of neat things going on.
Here on Tuesday night, something special as well.
Yeah, Tuesday nights we're open until 9, and you'd think, well, it's nighttime, how do we see the butterflies? And you and I were just looking a little earlier at some of them and how they roost. And if you come with your flashlight, you can enjoy seeing where they're kind of sleeping or roosting, and it's a fun hide-and-seek kind of way to look at the butterflies.
Behind us, these aren't butterflies roosting or sleeping. What do we have behind us?
Well, these are all pupa or chrysalis. So what happens is this is part of the butterfly life cycle where they go through metamorphosis, and we probably remember that from 5th grade science. Yeah. And what happens is the butterfly will emerge from these chrysalis, and as their wings dry and as they're ready to fly, the staff collects those then and releases them out into the conservatory.
Just curious. Now, this event or exhibit goes on, begins March 1st all the way through April 30th. That's a 2-month-long period. How long does a butterfly average lifespan last?
Sure. Well, it's a little bit different from species to species, but on average they live about 2 weeks. And it's really nice for them in here. I call this the Butterfly Club Med because they don't have monsoon rains, they don't have predators, and they've got all the food that they can eat in here. So, but about a 2-week average, we get shipments of pupa or butterflies in every week, and those are released weekly, and they spend their time in this wonderful tropical space.
Okay, coming up in another hour, I'm going to ask Steve. We've all been dealing with a harsh winter here in West Michigan, the ice dams and all the snow and so forth. Well, I was kind of curious just how they keep this place heated and keep all the snow off this exhibit and so forth. So I'll talk more to Steve about that coming up a little bit later, and where we stand in terms of snowfall for the season and this month of February. Right now, live at the Frederik Meijer Gardens Sculpture Park, Matt Kirkwood, back to you.
Interesting stuff.
Kirkwood, 85 degrees.
85 degrees. Hey, he deserves it. We have been mean to him this winter.
That's true, we have. Yeah, I would agree with you, or tend to anyway, although he deserves that sometimes too.
It's 6:20 now. For a lot of us here in West Michigan, the word tropical probably sounds pretty appealing right now.
Yes, it does. If you're looking for some tropical relief from what seems like an endless winter here, look no further than Meijer Gardens. They're getting ready to open up their Butterflies Are Blooming exhibit tomorrow. This morning, Storm Teammates Matt Kirkwood is getting a break from the cold. He's live inside the Tropical Conservatory with what the exhibit is all about. Matt?
Yeah, it's 14 degrees below zero outside of this tropical conservatory, and what better way to escape this harsh winter than come inside this tropical conservatory at the Frederik Meijer Garden Sculpture Park, because what kicks off tomorrow, I think, is some of our favorite of West Michigan. It's been going on for 19 years, and it's the butterfly exhibit. And standing next to me, we have Steve Lawarre. And you know what's interesting? I think we have more snow outside with the kickoff of this exhibit than what we had in December and November when the Christmas trees around the world were going on here. But nonetheless, I love this exhibit. It's great for an educational experience for the family as well. And we're getting a little education right now because my photographer has noticed earlier when we started this live shot that there was only 3 butterflies. Now it looks like we're up to, I don't know, 5 more, and one is actually coming out right here. What's behind us in this butterfly bungalow, you guys call it?
Well, these are all the chrysalids that have arrived. And you're right, as we were standing here, we've actually watched a couple of them come right out of the chrysalids as we were standing here waiting. And what happens is, as these emerge, those butterflies will come out, their wings are wet, they'll start pumping fluid into their wings and getting those fully expanded. They'll dry out, they'll be ready to fly, and then our staff will collect these butterflies and release them into the Lena Meijer Tropical Conservatory.
And it's not just butterflies you have here. Just on the other side of me, we have also, it's one of my favorites, the moths.
Yeah, there's the Atlas moth is one of the moths that we get in as well. And the moths emerge out of cocoons, and the butterflies emerge out of chrysalis. And the Atlas moths are a really big tropical moth, something that's really cool to see.
That's fascinating. And also, I'm just curious, how many different types of butterflies, also including the moths, do you have out here, and what are some of the more rare ones?
Well, we have about 40 different species of butterflies that will get in over the course of the exhibition. And there's just such a huge diversity of butterflies here. You know, some of my favorites is the great orange tip that's in there. There is the idea, or the paper butterfly that you'll see in here. Just all sorts of different varieties. It's really fun to see.
And I'm curious, all right, this has been an incredibly harsh winter. How do you guys keep the snow and ice off this mammoth conservatory?
Yeah, well, we've got 2 really big boilers that work in overtime. And this being a glass house, it tends to melt the snow and ice off the roof pretty quickly. Sometimes you can hear that ice sliding off a little bit, but really there's no problem keeping the ice off because of that heating system. It's all a water boiler system, and with lots of big air handlers, and we've got a wonderful maintenance staff that makes sure everything is kept up and running.
All right, I certainly appreciate this. Is Steve Lawarre. He's director of horticulture here at Frederik Meijer Garden Sculpture Park. I just want to remind folks out there, it's 85 degrees during the day in here, so if you want to warm up, there's no better place. Again, the exhibit kicks off on March 1st and lasts till April 30th. Back to you.
Little breaking butterfly news as they're coming out of their chrysalis. We should name one Ling Wan.
Ling Wan from Anchorman.
Yeah.